Guten Tag, hallo, und willkommen. Welcome. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Herr McCluskey. I'm the German teacher at Bunker Hill Middle School, and I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time to go over some of the more important points of this year. So ein bisschen anders. As we know, things look a little different this year, and things are going to be a little different. Changes may happen suddenly, so it's just important that you are prepared for that. Those are not necessarily things that we can control, but just be flexible in that. It's very important that you communicate your difficulties to me in this year. If you're having trouble, especially if you're remote, and even if you are in one of the cohorts this year, you're only going to see me once a week. So it's very important for you to communicate to me, whether it's in class or through email, when you're having difficulties, if you need resources or what can you do to help you catch on to some of the things, make sure that you're doing that. I know for me, especially from March until last year, I sort of struggled from working from home. It just gets hard to focus, but do your best to stay on top of your work. I'm hoping that some of the changes that we've made over the summer and that I've made over the summer are helpful to you. And even though things are going to be different, put your best self out there. Do the best that you can, try the best that you can, and that includes, letting me know when you're getting tripped up by certain things so that you can overcome that and keep putting your best self forward. So I don't want to take too much of your time. Same as always, here's my contact information. Email is the best way to reach me, mmccluskey@wtps.org. This is also available on the school and district website. So, was machen wir? What are we doing? So things are going to look very differently this year, especially for your world language classes. First of all, at the recording of this on September 3rd, we are currently going to be in class on Microsoft Teams. So everybody's going to be remote from September 8th to the 18th. Everybody's going to be remote. So there are no cohorts. So what I'm going to talk about, this is going to really apply to when we come back on the 18th or whatever date that they deem fit for us to be back. So for those of you who are in the cohort A, cohort B, the in-class groups, when we're in class, I want to spend that time mainly working on your speaking, pronunciation, writing, giving you feedback, things that I'm noticing, like, hey, this, do this way. I noticed you kept making this mistake, just so we can touch base in person. And also to fix problem areas, again, so you come to me, communicate to me saying that, oh, well, I'm having trouble with what we're learning, or I can't seem to get this set of vocabulary. I can give you suggestions on what you can do to do better in that. Now, when you are remote, that's going to be when we're going to do our listening, our reading, practice, whether that's on grammar or some other skill. That's when you're going to be doing those things. Video lessons that I will put out as I can when necessary, and when the video lesson is the best way to convey that information. Now, for my fully remote students, Wednesdays will be when we set up a time to cover in-class topics, help you practice with that speaking, and also helping you with any of your problem areas in German, and I can give you feedback at those times. But especially for my remote learners, communication is key because I won't be able to see you in class at all, at least for the time being. So communication is key, reaching out, email, contacting me when you're having issues, and not just sitting on your hands just make sure that you're reaching out when you need to. Okay, so unlike the spring, there's going to be no daily emails. You're going to go to Schoology for everything, which I'll touch on more in a minute. And then you'll look at the updates bar, the updates tab on the left-hand side of Schoology for your daily or weekly information. So the remind, as I've used in the past, that's going to be, I can use that for larger assignments. So I'll let you know when a unit test may be coming, a larger assignment like a project, and maybe some general information. Smaller assignments I'm not going to use for the remind so much. When we go to our textbook, which I'll also talk on in a little bit, those messages are going to go directly to blinklearning.com, and I'll touch more on that in a little bit though. Class Dojo is how I keep track of your participation points. So when you're in class, whenever you answer a question, then you get your points. For my remote learners, you're going to get those potentially on Wednesday. You can get points, Flipgrids. There's going to be different ways that we're going to have to work around that while we are in this hybrid model. If you do want to get notifications from Class Dojo or keep track of your points, please email me if you want that student invite or that parent invite, and I will let you know what that is, what the code is. All right, so Schoology, which is the main platform. It's our launching board, our springboard for our course this year and for most of your courses this year. So when you get into Schoology, you'll find my course. You'll find my Bitmoji is very prominent in it. To find out what your daily or your weekly assignments are, you're going to want to go to updates, okay? And then that's where you're going to find the announcements you'll see for each day or week. I'll post with the title, you know, something like this, where I'll just have a checklist of what you need to do. So the checklist, what the assignment is, or what you need to be aware of, and then what the due date for that would be if it is something that you're turning in. Yes, this is going to be the primary location of your work. There is also my Bitmoji classroom in there, where you can use that as another springboard to places like Blink Learning, which is our textbook, which can't be on Schoology. Okay, so grading policy, for those of you who have had my course before or have been at the middle school before, this is not any different. Your tests, major assessments, they're going to be 50% of your grade for the semester. Your secondary things like your quizzes, your smaller projects, your class participation falls into this. That's 35% of your grade. And then homework, although all of it's kind of homework, but those are going to be your smaller practice assignments. That's going to be worth 15% of your grade. Now, to be prepared for class, some things have changed, but some things are the same. So you'll need a charged laptop. Again, I can't really have people moving around the room this year because seating needs to stay the same. So please, 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 please come with a charged laptop, because it's not really going to be possible to let you charge it somewhere in the room like I have in years past. I wouldn't worry about a folder for this year or at this current time, because there isn't going to be much paper passing out. I might bring a pen or a pencil to write with just in case. That is, you know, if you want to use like a paper notebook instead of the OneNote online notebook, that's up to you. Then your completed assignments, especially the days that were in person, so you get a better idea of, you know, where you might need help, and you can deal with that with me in person too. But remember, most things you're just going to be able to submit online, so there really won't be forgetting it in a folder like there has been before. So obviously, failing to be prepared or having assignments done, that may affect your grade negatively. Very quickly, I'll skip right to the thing that's in bold on this. Translation websites, so websites where you put in an entire sentence, most of a sentence, an entire paragraph, an entire paper, and put those into things like Google Translate or other translation services, that is considered plagiarism. It's considered cheating since it is not your work in German. That will result in a 0 if you are found to be doing that, or if you're using somebody else's work as your own. Online dictionaries like leo.org and pons.eu, they can be used on certain assignments, obviously not tests or quizzes. But really you're using those as a dictionary for individual words. And if you're unsure whether you can use it for something, ask. So extra help. There is no staying after school this year in person, but, and this goes for whether you are remote or you're in an in-school cohort, Microsoft Teams, the audio calls we can schedule. So that's available in the afternoon from like 1:30 to 3. And then Wednesdays, there will be a time that you can set up with me individually, and then there will be a time for us as German class, German course to meet and talk about what you need to talk about, fix what you need to fix, and I can clarify what you need clarification on. Those Wednesdays are going to be especially important for our remote students so that they can touch base. But especially if you want to do something individually, you can email me or talk to me in class to set up a time when you can do that. So Blink Learning is our website, which takes us to our Portfolio Deutsch textbook. So the textbook, we'll be using that mostly for maybe some listening activities. We will use that for some practice activities, grammar activities, in addition to the things that are in Schoology. We'll set that up at a later date, but if you want to check out a quick tutorial, you can find that on my YouTube page there, which is, the account is Herr McCluskey. It's listed there in parentheses at the bottom. So that's about it. I encourage you, if anything was not clear here, please access my quick reference course description, which will be posted in Schoology. And if you do have any questions, please let me know. Email me at mmccluskey@wtps.org. Though things may not be the same, may not be really normal, very unprecedented, I'm hopeful, and I hope you are too, and excited to learn more German and to really become better German speakers this year. Thanks again. Vielen Dank, parents, students. Auf Wiedersehen.